Hello and welcome to Engager Labs 2025. We're here again for another Pitstop podcast. And we've got Gareth here. And I can't really wait for this one. There's a lot to get involved and everything else. But before we do that, Gareth, tell the world who you are, why you're here, and what you want to talk about.
Thanks for having me, Aaron. Yeah, so I'm Gareth. I'm an accountant. I'm also a software founder, built Xenon Connect. So I'm here today to showcase Xenon, but also just to meet our lovely customers and see how they're getting on with Xenon, really.
You've sold yourself short already because you're not just here showing off Xenon, showing off everything else, having that chance to talk, but also you're running a whole talk area, aren't you? I mean, did you say 12 sessions you're
12
doing?
sessions until, yeah, I think I've taken a bit too big of a bite, to be honest. I think it's going to be, if I've got my voice at the end of the day, it's going to be amazing, but yeah.
So you've basically gone through your phone book and just gone help.
Yeah. We've had some great talks, so we've had lots of people on.
Brilliant. Yeah. Loving that. Everyone said how good all the sessions have been, so yeah. Absolutely loving it. Right. Let's go through some of the questions here. Okay. First of all, we've got to be a bit impressed by this, right? This event was not, well, it's certainly what I was expecting, but they've done good, right? The boys have done good. The lads have done good. The team's done good at Engager. I think this has been, for me, a very impressive event, but what's it been for you?
Oh, yeah. From the moment I walked in, you can see it's just another level, really, this sort of exhibition, isn't it? And that opening talk with Johan, the video before it, just creates that epic environment. It just makes it a bit more live, doesn't it? It's not that stale, let's just walk around and maybe chat with your accountants that we probably chat to all the time. It's more energetic, isn't it? Yeah,
100%. I mean, it is just that scale that I remember them telling us, like, oh, we're here and everything. And I was even here for this very venue last year. I was thinking to myself, nah, they can't. They're not going to do that. Nah, they won't. And they did. They pulled it off big time.
The amount of work they've gone into this, you can tell it's just such an effort. It's great.
Definitely. So, yeah, really looking forward to seeing what they can do in the future. But what are you most looking forward to this event? I mean, I know we've not got too long left of it yet, but what was you looking forward to the most at the start of the day?
Obviously, it's chatting with Xenon Connect current clients.
Yeah.
But also, it's just learning new things. And I think the keynote at the end, I'm excited to hear what Johan's got to say. But I think there's a few announcements.
Yeah, maybe some very special announcements.
So yeah, that really, and just chatting to people we normally do, but also new people, and just enjoying things and the party after, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be good. I mean, that's what this community is all about, right? We get to share problems, share issues. You know what they say, like problem shares, a problem halved, and we have enough people here to solve enough problems. So that's what it's all about, isn't it? What's been your highlight, though, so far? What do you think about the event itself? What's your highlight?
Probably the talk I've just come out from watching, which was Millie and Tim from TCS in Guernsey about employing Gen Z. It's quite an eye-opener. I mean, I'm a millennial, probably on the older side of the millennials as well, and there's a lot of good points that I wasn't aware of in terms of what to consider. But yeah,
amazing.
Really good.
Any sneak peeks you want to share with the group?
I think it's like just not expecting for people to be able to answer phones. Like not having that ability because you just haven't grown up with it.
Yeah, good point.
Things that you wouldn't necessarily think about, but people that have grown up heavily into devices constantly it's a different way of being, isn't it? Really, so really interesting.
Love that. So events like this, we are thrown so much information at us. We are talking to vendors. We're going to these talks like you just had there about the Gen Z and everything else. What do you do with an event like this? Like, how do you take action from it? How do you make sure that they're worth your investment? Because especially for someone like yourself, you're not just investing time, but it's also money, right? You're paying to be at these events. You need to be making sure that they come out. So what do you do to make sure that you take action from them?
I mean, first of all, it's making sure you follow up on any conversations you've had with people. You promise to get in touch with them for a demo or something, then obviously you need to be doing that. But then sometimes the action is just building that relationship with your current customers, keeping in their minds, making sure that you know exactly what's going on in their practice. Yeah. But with my accountant's hat on, I get value from these things because I'm seeing it from that position as well.
Yeah.
I go into a lot of talks, watching them and seeing, actually, that's really important for accountants, so I can see it from that point of view too. So it's great.
I love that. Compare this to like an ITB event type idea. How are you finding the type of people here? Is it decision makers here, or is it tire kickers, or how's it been? I mean, is this the sort of event you would recommend people to come to as a vendor? Or I
think without a doubt. I mean, you mentioned the ICB. I was actually comparing it somebody over there with the ICB one, and I think it's very similar in the way that obviously it's the conference with the breakout rooms. Yeah. But it's just a warm, friendly environment whereby you can feel you can just go up to people and talk to them, you know, and get information from them, and everyone's happy really, just talking through things. So it's great.
Definitely. And I think one of the advantages here is no competitors. Like, one of the things Engager does really, really well is they go, right, here's our pain point, here's our problem, and here's a solution we feel is pretty much, you know, if not best in class, close to best in class as it can be, but we know we can work with, we know we can do it. And I think a lot of people I've been speaking to today, they're like, well, I was considering changing AML, but I didn't know what AML to go for. Well, there's an AML provider here that you should definitely speak to. You know, we're looking at ways in which to, you know, get more insights from our client data. And that's, you know, it's almost got that stamp of approval, right? And I think that definitely, as an Engager user, I think we all really respect, and that's part of the kind of charm, isn't it?
Yeah. I think there's a close-knit number of exhibitors and companies really that, because we often share the same customers in terms of the accounting and bookkeeping firms.
Yeah.
Then there's obviously overlap in terms of the conversations we have about things, and it's nice to have that. Obviously, you say there's no competitors, and that's great from our point of view as well. You have good conversations with people. But, you know, I think it's just making sure we keep on top of those relationships. I keep going back to it, but I'm probably like a broken record. But we're really happy to be invited, you know, so thanks to the Engager guys for that, and hopefully we'll be doing this again.
And I think, unlike other events, you're all kind of in the same common goal, right? Like, if all of you help each other sell Engager licenses and whatever, then you're all going to grow, because your client base will grow. Because, especially, I mean, Engagers, one of their secret sources is that shiny button syndrome, right? If I go into Engager and I find a button that is grayed out because I'm not signed up to XYZ, I get FOMO, right? And that works really well for vendors like yourself, right? That's what you want, isn't it?
But I think it's really nice because those recommendations are coming from people that are actually accountants themselves.
Exactly.
They've lived it. So they're not just recommending because there may be like some sort of kickback or something, because that's just not the case. It's because they believe in the products and feel that Engager invited all the people here because in one way or the other, they probably use the software. So it's great having that knowledge behind those recommendations. It helps. It's a bit more sincere, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And they use it in their practice. They believe it in their practice. They understand the pain points. And sometimes the solutions aren't perfect now, but they're bought in by their roadmap and their understanding, and they trust that roadmap. There's so many times that we've been, you know, sold a dream, right? But the people in this room, they're not selling dreams. If anything, they just want your help to help them solve their issues, right?
Yeah, it's a hunger for it, really. Because, I mean, especially a lot of the firms that are in here now, in terms of the companies, they're bootstrapped, so they're self-financed. So it's the way they grow is by pleasing the customers at the end of the day. So they need to know what's going on. They need to keep their ears to the ground, and that's how they build, is by providing value for both sides of the coin. Yeah,
100%. Okay, so definitely someone who likes this industry. We get that. We understand that. What is it that makes you love this industry? Why this industry? What is it about it?
I'm going to use the C word, which is community.
Woo!
No, I think it just is. I think, you know, people just get it when they come to events like this. It's just having that ability to bounce ideas off other people. Maybe people you haven't seen since the last exhibition and so on, but just having those people that are sharing the same problems, maybe at the same stage of the practice. You can bounce ideas off them, and you might just learn, even if you just learn one little thing, it could change your practice, couldn't it, going forward? This event in particular is great.
Yeah, I love it. So that's what you love about the industry, but what would you change about it? What grinds your gears?
Oh, I would change large software companies from buying small software companies. At least maybe have like a 5-year clause whereby the first 5 years of a software company, they're not allowed to be bought out. It's legislation, right? Legislation. Because I think there's been a lot of things gone off over the past 2 years in terms of software getting bought out and then service levels just dropping instantly, prices getting hiked. If I could change anything about the industry, it would be that.
But the industry would be a far better place without that. Yeah, without that option. Yeah, because we fear for it, and sometimes it all works out. Very rare, but it sometimes does, right? And it's a good fit and everything else. There's too many times where we've been burnt, and our favorite piece of software is just not that software anymore. Right? It loses identity, doesn't it?
It's not having that founder drive, is it, to make sure they're still improving things all the time? It just gets lost sometimes when it gets brought out.
Yeah. Exactly right. All right, let's talk about your tech stack then. So let's go back 12 months and let's say to yourself that from here on in, I'm going to hand you a time machine and you're going to be able to go back to your past self and you're going to be able to give yourself one piece of tech or one piece of software or one piece of gadget, whatever it's going to be, right?
Yeah.
That you, at this moment in time, is a complete game changer to you. Yeah. What would you tell yourself back then and say, implement now? Like, you've wasted X amount of time.
I think it is practice management. So I left it fairly late to move into practice management when I had my own practice.
Yeah.
So it would be have a look around what's available on the market, see what's going on, see who's doing the most and moving the fastest and is working towards something that you feel can really be a valuable tool in your business. Because it's the heart, isn't it, of the practice from essentially.
Yeah, 100%.
Everything stems from that. That determines whether you're stressed or not, essentially, as a practice owner. You've got a PM solution which can provide you with 90% of what you need, then you're winning.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. And there's none of this where, oh, you really should get to so big a size or so many clients, or that doesn't exist anymore, right? Like it literally, especially with, solutions like Engager out there that can have that price point that just makes sense for any size of practice.
It's not prohibitive at all, is it? The time you would waste banging in things into Excel spreadsheet in terms of tasks and keeping that updated, you might as well get something like Engager to do that.
Yeah, 100%.
And I've not been paid to say that, honestly.
No, none of it. I mean, we're at Engager Labs, but, we have to be nice to them.
In fact, I've paid them to say that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I feel like, Engager Labs and everything else seems to be an area that we're learning quite a lot from other members. And what I was really impressed with that opening speech was the fact that this isn't just about practice management. This isn't just about that, but they want basically to invite vendors like yourself to show off what it is. And there's something about that, isn't there? And I do question why there wasn't a practice manager event before. Any reason why, do you reckon?
I mean, I'd be guessing, but obviously there's a lot of integrations coming into Engager, aren't there, at the moment? They're really working on that. It seems like they're pushing out more and more. So the more they're integrated with it, makes sense to work with those partners at events as well, because, as I say, we're sharing the same sorts of customers for the same sorts of problems.
Yeah.
I guess there's been no solution in the past that's really cared about that too much.
Took that community on, yeah. It's fair play, fair point. Okay, we look 12 months. Let's look 12 months forward. There's a little word you may have heard of. It's called AI. I've got a feeling we can't call it a fad. I think it's here to stay. Mm-hmm. But in 12 months' time, how do you see it affecting our industry? Do you feel like it's going to have a massive effect? Do you think we're not going to even utilize it what it should be? What's your gut feeling on it?
I think there's a lot of overpromise at the moment to what it can do. But I think once we've knuckled down on where it can help, I think it will be a gradual but speeding up process to actually integrate with practices. I think the area, in my opinion, is analysis of figures.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily, okay, I'm going to let a robot, AI bot, decide everything about my practice and get everything done. It's not going to be that silver bullet, but maybe it's, here's a set of management accounts. Here's a narrative describing what's gone on so that accountant doesn't have to write that up. Maybe it's a starting point that they would then tailor and personalize to their own words, but having that, okay, AI can look at these figures and that subset and how they link to that subset over there in terms of transaction counts and turnover and so on.
Yeah.
During this year, your business has increased in this way. It's because of this. It's powerful, isn't it? And it saves a lot of time, that sort of thing. So that analysis is where I see.
And it makes a difference, right? Like you're talking about there fundamentally between a business thriving or surviving, right? Like, are they just because they've got money in their bank and they've got money there, that's great. That's fantastic. Well done. But if you can actually understand why that money's going in the bank and what's driving those sales and how you can improve on it, that's the secret sauce, right?
Yeah. 'Cause I guess the risk is with AI, if we use it incorrectly, it becomes an extra trainee that we've got to monitor and make sure it's just having that confidence in it, which I think we're getting there with, as long as it's used in the right areas.
Yeah.
Not relying on it too much at this stage, but being excited for what may come out once it's all settled down.
Yeah, there's definitely excitement there, isn't there? Definitely excitement. Awesome. So this is only a Pitstop podcast, so we try and keep it short, try and keep it, to the point. But we've got to invite you back. We've got to come on for Cool Friends. We've got to get you a top trump and go down that route.
Amazing.
Maybe a cool location, whatever kind of works for you. And I feel like we've just kind of started to unravel some bit, but there's definitely more to talk about, because we've got to talk about Xenon properly, right? Like what it can do, where you can see it, that sort of stuff. I feel like, and I'm sure the community will put the comments below that they want to have you on board. So let's make sure that happens. But before that, let's utilize this camera here. Let's go for the opportunity for you to plug away and tell the world what Xenon is, why they should be interested in it.
Yeah, so Xenon Connect is a cloud tool which plugs into your bookkeeping package. So think QuickBooks Online, Xero, FreeAgent, and soon Sage Cloud. And it pulls in all the data. It looks for about 25 different types of specific bookkeeping error. And it allows you to push back those corrections back with one click of a button straight to the ledger there. It was built because I was frustrated with how long it took to get an accurate trial balance when I was in practice. And it's grown from there. So we've got over 750 practices using Xenon currently. And it's growing every week. So yeah, give it a try.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And potentially they should listen to Johan's closing speech later down the line, right?
You never know what something might be said.
Potentially, yeah.
We'll
There's a definite.
Who knows?
You might want to go and have a look what gets announced. So that's it. So brilliant, Gareth. Thank you so much for coming on our little podcast. Thank you for sitting on our seat and talking to the world and giving us an opportunity to tell the world what it is. But yeah, I genuinely believe it. We need to have that Cool Friends episode. Let's talk about it a little more. Let's get into the deeps. Let's go through from there.
Thanks for having me, Aaron.
You'll be so on. Yeah, brilliant. So if you've enjoyed this episode of Ask the Accountant Pitstop Podcast, then you're already at the right place. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Make sure you go follow Gareth on LinkedIn. I suppose the best place, isn't it? Yeah. And make sure you go and have a look at his product page. And yeah, whatever you do, you're always in the right place. Use that like button. Put in the comments below if you want Gareth on for another Cool Friend episode, and we'll put it from there. So thanks, everyone. Thank you, Gareth. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.